What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So it's no secret that we all tend to have a lot of stuff that needs charging. Smartphones, tablets, laptops, earbuds, watches, all sorts of gadgets. And the dinky little power banks we used to carry around don't really cut it anymore. Thankfully, Anker recently sent me these behemoth-sized power banks to test out that offer enough capacity to charge literally everything you own multiple times over at crazy fast speeds. That is kind of their slogan after all, and they now come with some extra features and accessories that I think further cement them as the best power bank options on the market right now. The two I have here are the Anker Prime 20,000 mAh power bank and the Anker Prime 27,650 mAh power bank. And shout out to Anker for sending these out and for sponsoring this video. Both of these are follow-ups to their previous big power banks, and you might already notice the new design and bigger built-in display that shows you all sorts of useful information. Now, while both of these are super useful in their own ways, and their features do differ slightly, I think the 20,000 mAh power bank is a great option if you just need a simple but reliable, sort of mid-sized portable power bank. It fits perfectly in a bag or backpack for starters, and it's well within the TSA-approved battery size limits for a carry-on, so no issues there. Up at the top, you'll find two multi-way USB-C ports and one USB-A port, so you can charge up to 3 different devices at once. And on the side, there's a big old power button that also doubles as your front display controls. These newer power banks have a bigger front display that shows a lot more information. Obviously, you'll see the battery level of the power bank itself, along with the battery health and cycle info, temperature readings, and you can adjust the screen timeout duration and brightness. What's most valuable though is when you plug your various devices in to charge, you'll also see specific port and charge speed information in real time. So you know exactly which devices are receiving which wattage. And I love this. It takes the guesswork out of charging. You can see right away if a particular device is getting all the juice it needs to recharge quickly. And when you plug the power bank into charge, it too is going to show you the charging speeds and the battery capacity down to the 0.1%. It's literally gaining charge in real time right in front of you. And honestly, it's pretty cool to see that in action. As far as the charging speeds, the 20,000 mAh Prime power bank supports up to a combined 200 watts of fast charging. To put that into real terms, a 16-inch MacBook Pro, for example, could go from 0 to 50% in just 40 minutes with this power bank. And you can charge 2 MacBooks at the same time. Each of the USB-C ports can achieve up to 100 watts max individually for those fast charging devices, and the USB-A port has a 65 watt max output. With 2-port charging, you're actually still getting the max output from each port simultaneously. And with all 3 ports being used, you can expect 100 watts and 60 watts from the USB-C ports and 40 watts from the USB-A. Collectively, that's a ton of fast charging power coming from something that could almost fit in your pocket. And with 20,000 milliamps of battery capacity, you could charge any smartphone 3, 4, even 5 full times, or an 11-inch iPad Pro almost 3 full times, or a 13-inch MacBook Pro almost 4 full times without ever needing to recharge the power bank. You could probably just take the 20,000 mAh Prime power bank with you and rely solely on that to keep your gadgets juiced up over a 3 or 4 day long trip. If you maybe need a bit more power, faster charging speeds, or additional battery capacity, the 27,650 mAh Prime power bank is the next step up. And if that capacity number comes across as totally random, well, it actually translates to precisely 99.54 watt hours, which just ekes out under the 100 watt hour limit for a carry-on battery. So this too is TSA approved and can still fit comfortably in a bag or backpack to be taken on the go. Size-wise, this one is just a couple inches taller than the 20,000 mAh power bank, but not any thicker or wider. It has the same dual USB-C port and single USB-A port setup at the top, and the same side-mounted power button that also controls its big bright display with all the same information available to you. Now, one thing that's unique to this bigger power bank is that it's also Bluetooth capable and pairs with Anker's iOS or Android app. The app is going to show you additional power power information, including voltage and amp counts and real-time data graphs for each connected device. There's a widget for calculating exactly how many charges you'll get with a specific device you have. So for example, the iPhone 15 Pro has a 3,274 milliamp hour battery, and you'll see that you'll be able to recharge it nearly 5.5 times with this power bank. There's even a Find My Device add-on where if you somehow lose this big, huge power bank, it'll beep quite loudly to hopefully help you locate it. You can also add a bit more info to the power bank's on-device display. You can set up optimized charging hours. So if you want to recharge your devices overnight, you don't have to draw the maximum power or charging speeds when that's maybe not needed, to save you a bit of juice and overall battery health. And pairing the 27,650 milliamp hour Prime power bank with Anker's app really just transforms this thing into a smart device of sorts. Considering all the different devices nowadays that support all different charging speeds, I think having access to all of this information up front through the app is super useful. Speaking of charging speeds, this thing can output some of the fastest I've seen on a portable device. Each USB-C port supports 140 watts individually, which, for example, could thrust an M2 16-inch MacBook Pro from 0 to 50% in under 30 minutes, which is just crazy. The USB-A port has a 65 watt maximum capacity, and for 2-port charging, this is really where things get crazy. 140 watt and 100 watt max speeds combined, or 140 watts and 65 watts combined with a USB-C and USB-A port. In utilizing all 3 ports together, that's where you get the full 250 watt capacity with priority to the USB-C ports. Now, when you need to recharge this power bank itself, this thing can recharge at 170 watts via the USB-C port in, and it'll be fully juiced up in 37 minutes. Honestly, carrying something like this around, you can probably get away with never needing to be plugged into the wall. I mean, for me personally, if I'm taking my iPhone, my MacBook Air, and my AirPods with me, for example, each of those devices can be charged and recharged multiple times over with just the power bank over the course of like 2 or 3 days. Now, there is one additional accessory available for these power banks that I think is a great add-on for a desk setup, for example. It's Anker's 100 watt charging base. You can either get this separately after the fact or as a package deal with either of these power banks, and you might have noticed those gold charge points at the bottom of the power banks there. That's the magnetic wireless charge point for the charging base. Popping either one of these power banks on that charging base can afford you 100 watts of maximum recharge output, and the charging base can also double as a charging hub itself with 2 USB-C ports and a USB-A port of its own on the side there. So that's why I think it's a great accessory add-on for an at-home desk setup, for example. You can recharge the power banks with this easy wireless base station, and it's not going to take up unnecessary space since it serves that additional purpose of being a USB hub of its own. I'm of the opinion that Anker still sells some of the best power banks and charging products that money can buy, and these revamped 20,000 milliamp hour and 27,650 milliamp hour Prime power banks are absolutely top tier. They aren't just power banks after all. They really are smart devices that can ensure you're getting the fastest and safest charging speeds for whatever it is you might plug in. If you're interested in snagging one of these power banks for yourself, or maybe you just want to learn more about them, I'll leave everything listed and linked down below in the video description. I can personally say that I'll be ditching most of my other chargers and power banks at this point and fully utilizing these for my on-the-go charging needs. But what do you guys think about these massive power banks? Would you use them yourself? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.